My name is Frank Bennett. I'm the CEO of the National Quilt Museum. The museum's been around for, as you know, for 25 years. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary, and we work to bring the work of today's quilters all around the globe. Our goal is for people of all kinds to see the work of today's quilters and experience it for themselves, because we believe that once you see it for yourself, you'll fall in love with it. Well, obviously in our case, we've been growing consistently over a number of years. This is actually be our 5th consecutive year of visitor growth, and we actually think we've barely scratched the surface. We market obviously aggressively, but it's just a matter for us that we need everyone who's passionate about quilting to get involved, because we can only do as much as we can afford to do, just like any museum. And just so much as we represent the quilting community to the world, we need the money to do that, and as we do, we'll promote more aggressively, and more people will come and get to experience this extraordinary artwork. Well, I'm very excited about this. Southern Living magazine, which as you know has a circulation of over 2.8 million, one of the biggest magazines in the South, did a list of the 25 best museums of any kind in the South. To give you an idea of the scope of this, they considered over 1,900 museums, and it went literally from Baltimore down to Florida across to Texas. And out of all of those, the National Quilt Museum made the list. And it's very exciting both for the museum and also for quilting in general. It shows that we're getting this mass appeal now from people, not just people who like quilting, not just people who like art, but people who will go to museums of any kind. To give you an idea of who was on the list and kind of the company we're in, the Kennedy Space Center made the list, the High in Atlanta made the list. So it really shows that quilting has come to the point where they will put us among some of the most respected museums in the country, and I think it's a great honor for us and a great honor for quilting as well. Yeah, well, obviously this is our 25th year, and with our 25th anniversary we wanted to do something special. So in our case, we wanted to do a contest that was a little bit different, and we went back to our roots with this one. 25 years ago, when we started saying that quilters are artists, people said that that was not the case at all, and they thought that was silly. And so as we looked back into our past, we decided that in this case we were going to do a contest in which people made quilts that had materials that were not traditional, if you will. So the rules of this contest is that you had to at least use one material that would not historically typically be in a quilt. Some folks, as you see, took it on as a challenge, and the entire quilt is stuff that would not normally be in a quilt. There's some phenomenal ones in this, but that was the contest, and we'll probably do it again in the future. People really embraced it and came out with some quilt concepts that you wouldn't really see anywhere else. They switch throughout the year. We have a lot of good exhibits coming up. If anybody goes to quiltmuseum.org/2016, you can actually see our entire schedule. We have 5 or 6 actually coming that are going to be great. Let's see, 13th Quilt Japan will be here, which, as you know, we get that every time it comes to the U.S., and we're one of very few museums it comes to in the U.S. As you know, that is a contest where they get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of quilts submitted, and the ones that are juried and travel are among the very best. I love getting that exhibit because you see some things in that exhibit you've never seen before. A good example is in 11th Quilt Japan, which we had a few years ago. Someone made a quilt that was entirely made out of jeans, and they created an entire town. They didn't even paint the jeans or anything. They just used different shades, and it turned into an entire town kind of on a mountain. So you always see unique use of color. You always see a lot of things in that exhibit that I'm looking forward to. But there's a number of exciting exhibits coming up. You just got to keep up with the schedule.